was kind of always, and I'm going to quote Jimmy here, a pipe dream. It was always there in the horizon, deep in the horizon. But when you're making a comeback from a 1-3 situation in Swiss, and then you start to get into the knockout stages, you've got to be the underdog in each one of those knockout games, and you get a win, you get another W, and now you're knocking on the door. And then for Stokes, this would also be a huge breakthrough for him. We haven't seen him in a final.
Exactly, and we are underway. And if we do see Stokes, Rebel Stokes, get to the final, and if we're to assume that Tex may win his semi-final, another little storyline for you. We could see a rematch, for those of you that are supporters or viewers of the YouTube football scene, of the most recent Wembley Cup, Rebel versus F2, which is available to watch on a very good YouTube channel. I think it's called Spencer FC or something like that, I'm not sure. Anyway, on with the game. It is Rebel Stokes making the first attack here, flip-flapping his way into the box, but ultimately tackled by NSE Vini. Now, do you think we're going to see this deep defence of Vini that has been utilised for him so far?
There's no reason for Vini to make changes, especially at 0-0. It's been working for him. It's been frustrating people. And his attack, we talk about his defense and how he's been sitting back very deep, but he's been countering so well.
There's a ball from Vini. Chance, first blood, falls to NSE Vini. He just keeps scoring. The opponents keep lining up, and he's knocking them down.
Worst start possible, for the Stokes, because you don't want to go down against Vini because he is dedicated and, like I said, definitely sit back and be patient in that regard and wait for you, and then start his counterattacks and try to make those opportunities and create them. So now that he's ahead, you have to chase the game. He doesn't have to adjust anything tactically.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, you know, it's early days in terms of this game, obviously, but NSE Vini's a man or a name that's been on the scene for a long time. I've been aware of him. Didn't think he had this in his locker. I've got to admit, he's really shown serious progression here in Hamburg, regardless of whether he makes the E-World Cup or not. He should be very happy with his performance. Having said that, Stokes, there's a great turn in the box, and he'll be disappointed that didn't go a few feet either side of the keeper. Instead, it was straight at the throat of Van der Sar, and he saved it.
And to remind you guys, last time we saw Vini, he was up against Dubsy. And I will say this, Dubsy is not attacking anywhere near the same level as Stokes. Stokes is an attack-first type of player. He's going to be very aggressive, takes a lot of risk. Even going down a goal should not discourage him because he knows that he's going to score goals. He's not somebody that ever gets clean-sheeted, really. He's going to be a back-and-forth type of player.
Chance here for Stokes with Neymar trying to get past Van Dijk. And it's a big tournament for Stokes as well. He's a player who's had a very good year. Arguably been the second best British player of the year, I would say. However, he wants to go one further, you know, this tournament. He wants to potentially win a tournament and really put his name in the conversation of the best players in the world right now. Good turn, got to be a goal. There it is, right on cue. Rebel Stokes equalises, one apiece.
Looking confident. He does a great job here to just wait. Goalkeeper shifts. Wrong foots him. Pretty easy finish at that point.
Yeah, lovely finish, actually, as Van der Sar had tried to predict where Neymar was going to put it. The goalkeeper movement took him left. Neymar's shot went to his right.
And that is textbook how to beat goalkeeper movement. He had that half second where he just was able to pause and see if Vini was going to commit one way or the other.
I always remember one of the world's most famous strikers, Thierry Henry, doing a kind of finishing score in a video I watched once. And he talked about how he takes that split second before unleashing a shot, just to kind of look in the eyes of the keeper and hesitate to see the keeper commit and then readjust his body and his finish. And it's kind of coming through in FIFA now with the goalkeeper movement.
I feel like the greatest penalty kick takers in the world are also capable of having that, just a glance, or even a vibe, a feeling, where they see the keeper start to shift left, start to shift right, or stay put, and it tells them what they want to do, and it doesn't disrupt their mindset in terms of finishing those 1v1s or taking that penalty kick.
Well, it's like the Pogba run-up right now. Is that not the point of the ridiculously long Pogba run-up? Is to slowly try and put the keeper under pressure as Stokes tries to put his opponent under pressure. Same corner, same result. Another goal for Rebel Stokes, scored by that man again, Neymar.
And this is the first time we've seen Vini down in the last couple of knockout stages. Because if you remember, even against Rafsu, he took a big lead. Rafsu battled back, tied it up, and then it was all Vini once again with those finishes and making opportunities. So we're going to see if he starts to play differently. I mean, he's still got plenty of time. If he makes any adjustments, are we going to still see him sitting back looking to counterattack?
Interesting that Stokes is using Team of the Year Neymar when there's a higher rated 98 version of Neymar available. Is that because of positioning and chemistry, you think?
It's two reasons. Number one, positioning to get full chemistry. Number two, you might prefer him. Maybe you don't have the new foot item at home yet. So you like the old one because you have more experience with it.
Chance for Vini if it falls to him in the box here. I've got a feeling, guys, we're going to see another absolute barnstormer of a game. Rebel Stokes has been involved in some unbelievable matchups this tournament, none less so than the 11-9 slobber knocker he played just a few rounds ago. We could see another one, guys.
Stokes doesn't play boring FIFA, no doubt about it. He's going to go forward. He's going to go forward often and confidently. It's kind of like he said in the interview, he wants to have those back-and-forth matches. He doesn't want to sit through 0-0, a lot of possession battles. That's not him.
Yeah, in many ways, the way this game's going is playing into Stokes' preferred kind of scenario right now. And here's the question for you, Mike. Tell me if I'm being unfair, but have Vini and to an extent Stokes as well had an easier draw in getting this far? You know, they haven't had some of the big names on their side of the tournament that the likes of Tex, Kurt and Dasari have had to go through. Am I being unkind?
No, you're being honest. You're making an observation. And the rankings would support you. On the bottom half of the bracket, you had the likes of MS Dasari, we had Dolan Mike, we have Rasik, Tex. Even though Kurt's a higher ranked player, a lot of people still would put him in that top 10 situation. He just didn't find himself at many events due to suspension. And the same could be said, Kurt also beat Megabit in the bottom bracket. So if Megabit would have kept advancing, that would have been a matchup that we would have seen as well. So all the high-ranked players in terms of the majority of the top 10 were in that bottom bracket.
Mm-hmm. And just a reminder, guys, this is the first leg of our first semi-final here in Hamburg. Chance for Neymar again, trying to get it in a very similar circumstance to where 2 goals have been scored for Stokes. Still alive in the box, off the post. Wow. That's the first really good chance Stokes has not taken. 2-1 here. As I was saying, this is the first leg. You're going to see both semi-final first legs together as De Gea gets a crucial hand to that one. And then we're going to take a break and we're going to come back for the second legs of the 2 semi-finals. So me and Mike are just going to set them up for you.
Tell you what, when you watch Stokes attack.
Vini's attacking right now. Eusebio trying to make something happen, but that's died down.
When you watch Stokes attack, he's got the 3 Ds. He's dynamic, he's decisive, and he's determined. You just feel like something's going to happen, that he's going to make an opportunity, that he's going to create some space, or at least to create some havoc, worst case scenario.
Yeah, definitely creating havoc every time he gets into the box. Nearly half time here in this first leg. 2-1 to Rebel Stokes. He'll be very happy with his performance considering he was 1-0 down at the start. That's a fantastic through ball for R9 Ronaldo. Good tackling by Rio Ferdinand. Da Costa sending it down the line. Vini loves these long through balls, but Stokes read that. And Mbappe finds Ronaldo. Vieira. And that's the half. So 2-1 to Tom Stokes of Team Rebel FC. And NSE Vini behind. Fair scoreline on the balance of the game?
Stokes deserves to be ahead. Stokes might feel a little unlucky not to have another goal, actually. Maybe thinks he deserves a 2-goal spread.
Denied by the woodwork.
But either way, he's ahead at halftime. And most importantly for Stokes, that's got to build into his confidence, build into his gameplay, build into that offensive approach that he's got as a mindset. And it starts to put a little bit of pressure under Vini in terms of maybe second-guessing yourself. We've seen Vini finish literally everything. The last couple days, he's not missing any 1v1s, any 50-50s. But now, since you're losing a game, sometimes you have that additional pressure. You start to question, oh, did I need this much amount of power? Oh, I've got to time this green, and you maybe hit a yellow time finish, or hopefully not, maybe a red time finish, or you have a missed touch.
He's still more or less finishing his chances, though. Stokes has just kept him quiet. I can only remember the 1, maybe 2 chances for Vini in that half. And obviously, halfway through the first leg, only a quarter of a way through the semi-final in general. So plenty of time for Vini to try and get back on top. But right now, Stokes in the driving seat. A man who plays without shoes on. How do you feel about that? Have you ever done that at an event?
I like it. Personally, at home, I don't want to have my shoes on either, and I'm sure that plays a big part to him being shoeless.
Yeah, I'm convinced he does own shoes. I think he's choosing not to wear. I think it's a preference. And you know, he's won at least £20,000, so he can get all the shoes a man needs. All the high-quality socks a man needs. Mbappe running down the right side, whipping it in for Vini. And Vini's kind of being kept to long balls and crosses right now. He's not playing any intricate stuff on the edge of the box. Can he make me eat my words here? As Eusebio strikes the ball over. Corner, though. It got a deflection. Vini looking lively in the opening stages of this second half. Mbappe is going to take the corner here. It's going to be an outswinger. Looking for Van Dijk, who he selects. Heads it on. Looking for a teammate. And he gets the ball back quickly. The Rebel Stokes now back on the ball with Ronaldo.
And I may be jumping the gun here, but if Tex were to beat Enrasic, Stokes were to beat Vini.
Chance here. Stokes, Hullet. Good block from the opposite Hullet. What were you saying?
Well, if Stokes were to beat Vini, Tex were to beat Enrasic, we would have a rematch from London, and that's some of the best FIFA I've seen played from Stokes and Tex if we're going to rewind earlier in the year.
One to look forward to if it happens. Vini still looking for a second goal, despite the fact he took the lead in this match. Ruud Hullet stands over this free kick. Now we've seen Vini do damage from almost an exact same position. Whipping it in, looking for the head. Van Dijk has been selected by Stokes to nullify the threat. Ronaldo's the man that heads it away though. And Neymar can just hold on to this ball for a second for Stokes. Oh, fantastic footwork. Despite the fact he's surrounded by red shirts, he's kept this ball safe. Eventually it's Da Costa who comes. Neymar not giving it up. Be a goal kick.
You could say that resembled Neymar in real life in terms of going through a 1v3, holding on to the possession. Almost drew a corner kick.
Goal kick here for Vini, headed back by the big Dutchman Van Dijk. Havertz now plays it into Neymar. He's got a great ball through to Mbappe. Could and should be a goal. Gotta be! Wow. Miss of the tournament so far.
Oh, and he cooked him too, man. He danced, he moved left, he moved right.
But the keeper's giving it straight to him. Oh, no. I mean, NSE Vini, a penny for your thoughts, sir. Because he was given a freebie when Stokes missed that one-on-one after doing fantastic work, and he's giving it straight back to him. And Stokes wasn't going to miss that one, Mike.
And that's a frustration mistake there from Vini. Makes an error earlier, or just before that, with the through ball that he allows. Stokes, of course, was showcasing some of the skill moves, misses the 1v1. Vini's like, I got to get right back into play. Rushes it, goes short. Kind of a rookie mistake as well. And Stokes isn't going to miss too.
Is the pressure getting to Vini? He knows if he wins this game, he's got a spot at the World Cup. But he's just giving him a goal, and that's uncharacteristic of a man whose defence has been very solid. And Vini's got to play a little bit more urgently. Yes, it's still only the first leg, but Stokes will probably score again multiple times. He's a high-scoring individual. It's a long shot from Vini, and Stokes has done well to kind of keep Vini to those kind of efforts so far. Da Costa flicks it on to Mbappe. Hullet, how crucial could that mistake from Vini end up being? As Stokes comes again with Mbappe, but this time straight into the path of Van Dijk. Player of the year, Van Dijk.
And Stokes has been around the FIFA community for a long, long time. He's one of the originals, actually, from the UK. I remember playing against Stokes in a tournament in 2011.
Wow.
We're going back some years.
Still going strong, unlike you.
Thanks, Spencer.
Listen, you've moved the other side. You're a great analyst and commentator, Mike. We all appreciate you.
I hope you stub your toe.
I've got pretty thick boots on, so I should be all right. Ronaldo. I was never there. At least you made it. At least you played at some events. I never made it.
You know when you get a fresh pizza and it's too hot, right? I hope that you bite into one of those fresh pieces of pizza, you burn the top of your mouth.
Okay.
It'll last a couple
that
days.
Hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
So Stokes looking at his team here. He's 3-1 up in this first leg. Hazard coming on. Hazard, we've seen a few people use Eden Hazard.
I was just going to compliment you as well.
Oh, really?
We did predictions earlier.
Yeah, well,
both your predictions have came true. You said that you're upset in Rasic.
I did. I called that.
Was going to beat MS Desari. That happened. You said Tex was going to beat Kurt.
Yep.
Guaranteed. We saw that happen together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm happy with those. But I had some terrible predictions first few days, let's be honest. The two people I backed got immediately eliminated almost as quickly as physically possible. I backed Zidane, who's still qualified, though, for the FEWC. And then I backed Diogo, who had a great first day, terrible second day. OK, Vini could really use a goal here. Good ball in the box. Can he find space? He does. What a save! Edwin van der Sar. Take a bow, son. One of the strongest wrists this side of the Mississippi has stopped what would have been a certain goal.
That's a difficult save. Real life as well. It's in that like pocket, very close to the goalkeeper. Can't get down in time, but Van der Sar was ready for it.
What a keeper he's been this tournament. In fact, two Dutch players that have been crucial. I'm not going to actually mention Ruud Gullit, who's a given at this point, have been Virgil van Dijk and Van der Sar in almost every single defence. Solid as a rock.
You could even make a case for Dumfries as well.
Yes, very true. Gullit, chance, got to go in. Maldini, though, the throwback, the Italian stallion in defence, denies entry to NSE Vini. Ronaldo on the ball. Vieira looking for the ball in behind, but Stokes' defence cuts it out. NSE Vini knocking on the door. Is anyone in? Why haven't they got a doorbell? Chance, hit it! Van der Sar again makes the save.
And we're seeing more high pressure play now from Vini as well. He's made some adjustments.
Big header, oh, off the line from Raphael Varane. How important could that be? There's been a few key moments in this game outside of the goals. It's been that mistake by NSE Vini that gave Stokes a goal, and then that clearance off the line from Varane representing Stokes here.
And if Vini's not able to get a goal back in this first leg, that's going to sit with him.
Yeah, 2 goals is doable. You talked about 2 goals being the margin you can afford to give up in the first game, no more, ideally. But Stokes could get another one here. Eusebio makes waves down the right side, finds Ruud Gullit on the edge of the box, who finds Eden Hazard, the fresh substitute. Lacroix kettering his way into trouble, and what a goal that is. And that is why Real Madrid have just spent the big bucks on the Belgian. That could be an Adidas player of the day.
Actually,
it really could.
it's like
Fantastic
great
work
goal
from Eden Hazard and Rebel Stokes.
Put that in the highlight tape. As someone who appreciates skill moves, a couple of La Croquetas into an advanced spin, which is rarely used at the competitive level. Beautiful. Goalkeeper was not ready, already had been moved, out of position. Stokes takes a quick glance up, says, I've got this, I salute you. Thank you very much, Hazard, and we're gonna put that in. Gonna tap that home.
Lovely finish on the left foot, and we even saw Stokes' coach Will there, just delighted with it. I'm sure he's very proud at the moment. Been a fantastic performance from the Rebel guys, not just Stokes, of course. Painter going deep into the tournament, only knocked out by a fellow Rebel player. Some coaching performances that have impressed me this event. You've got to say Will of Rebel, obviously. I actually don't know the young lady's name, but the person that's coaching Enrasic, doing very well. Obviously defeating Dasari. What's the secret? We need to know.
We have to do an interview. I'd also wouldn't mind sitting down with Tech's coach as well. I've never seen anybody with so many notes.
Oh, we've got to shout out Tech's coach, of course. I apologise. He's actually right next to us on stage as well, so I should have clocked that. Yeah, we've seen the notes, the drawing he's been doing of goats. I mean, if I was Tech's, I'd be asking him to spend his time a little bit more productively, personally. But it's working. It's definitely working.
I'm convinced he's making tech substitutions and formations adjustments to go with the tactics.
Chance here for Vini. Can he get a late goal to give him any kind of hope going into this second leg? Pele plays it in. Ronaldo surely plays the extra pass. I mean, I applaud the effort, but should he just have hit it? It's not over. Got to be a goal. Has to go in. It does. Big goal in the story of this semi-final. 4-2 gives the Brazilian NSE Vini a glimmer.
Now he can come back next
That's
match.
a poor clearance. I think he thought the whistle was going to be blown. Gets a second chance. Oh.
Ronaldo is never missing that one in a month of Sundays.
And we're back
It is
to
Sunday.
Yeah, technically it is Sunday. And we're back to that 2-goal spread that we both talked about. Easy to be able to make that comeback, replace that deficit.
Yeah, but with Stokes, you always get the impression he's going to score more. You know, can NSE Vini keep him quiet in the second leg as Stokes hits one from distance because he knows the time is up. The whistle will go. Pretty decent performance from Stokes, you have to say, going into the second leg 4-2 up. You know, he did go 1-0 down. So he's bounced back from that. And yes, he could have had a 3-goal margin. That's been reduced to 2 goals. But in general, surely Stokes happy with that one.
Has to be.
You heard them saying on the couch, this is a chance to get into the E-World Cup for Vini, the last person to take that 16th spot. And downstairs, Abinho is going to be watching on, hoping that Stokes does actually continue his fine form from the previous leg and takes Vini out. Therefore, Abinho will be that 16th qualifier.
Well, no messing around here. We're straight into the action in the second leg here of the semi-final. And as you say, we know all of the permutations here. And it all comes down to what kind of performance Vini can put in here. It's in his hands. 2 goals. And he ties up this tie on aggregate. But he's got to start hot here, and he almost does so. I'm pretty sure there was a little deflection on that shot from distance, which means It will be a corner here to the Brazilian. Maybe a chance to pull one of those goals back. Neymar in towards the back post, back across goal. Van der Sar deals with it. And now Stokes can come away.
But a little bit of early pressure from Vini, and that's exactly what he needs. He needs to let Stokes know he's there and he's up for this fight, and he isn't just going to roll over and show his belly. But for Stokes on the other side, he wants to show what he's made of. A lot of people have been saying he had an easy bracket run. Would he have got this far if he was going up against the likes of Tex, the likes of Tasari, the likes of Megabit? He wants to go into the E-World Cup showing that he's one of the top players. And if he can get to that grand final, if he can win that grand final, what a statement that would be.
Yeah, certainly having a tournament win behind you certainly boosts your value in the scene and will certainly make you a player for everyone to be keeping an eye on. Already impressed the pros. We heard Spencer talking about it on the couches just before this game got underway, how some of his attacking players really brought some praise out of his fellow competitors here in Hamburg. But at the start of this game, the only real shot on target was that one from Vini, was actually just deflected wide by that little touch from the defender. But Vini's the one chasing the game here. And if you are watching for the first time and you're kind of keeping your eyes on things, imagine around the 45th minute is when you might see changes. If things all stay the same here, Vini has to chase this game. So you might see some personnel and formation changes, all aimed at trying to push him forward, trying to get his way back into this game.
And of course, it was Vini who took the lead initially in leg number one. He went 1-0 up, but then Stokes responded with 4 goals on the trot, only for Vini to equalise in the last, to get a second goal, in the last minute to set up this second leg where he now has a 2-goal deficit. And Mark, you're talking about the players just saying how Stokes has been incredible going forward this event, and we can attribute that to the fact that he's been doing these low-driven finesse shots, which we've not seen too much of in the latter stages of this season. It's been really working for him. It's been finding so many goals at this near post. It's been beating the likes of Van der Sar, the likes of De Gea, and I'm sure we're going to see it if he gets the ball in the final third.
Well, here's Ronaldo into Eusebio! But first strike goes to Vini here. And what was a 2-goal deficit is now just 1.
Route to come back.
And oh boy, have we got a game on our hands now. That 16th spot for the E-World Cup has been blown wide open here. And Vini knows he has the chance to take it right out of Abinho's hands. Of course, 15 of our 16 spots already secured. It was Ajax Joey who started in 16th place at the beginning of this tournament. Abinho pipped ahead of him after his performance. Can Vini do the same? Can he take that most important number 16?
One of the best finishes on the game, providing the finish that was required there for Vini. Eusebio, that prime icon moments, doing the business once again in front of goal, and now you just feel the momentum is with the Brazilian. Stokes is going to have to weather this storm. He's going to have to be careful. Because as Mike Lebel was saying on these sofas just before this game got underway, a 2-goal lead in FIFA 19, it can evaporate quicker than rainwater.
And sometimes you just get in a rhythm with FIFA, and I feel like that's the case for Vini now with that first goal. His passes seem on point, very fluid with the style. He's not missing anything at the moment, and he knows how he wants to approach this game. It seems to be Stokes who's chasing that ball around.
Great ball down the line here to Neymar. Aims towards the back post, and Mbappe almost stole around the back of the defender there to send it towards goal. Unfortunately for him, he just overhit that cross and couldn't really get the technique required to send it either on target or back across goal. And now Stokes, for the first time, really has a little bit of time, I was going to say, to maybe pick a pass, but constant pressure here from Vini. This little break seems to have refocused him and made him realise just what's at stake here, Dan.
Stokes has really struggled to get any sort of possession at the moment. Every pass just seems to be colliding with a red shirt.
Eusebio takes a shot from distance again, and Edwin van der Sar has to get a big hand on that one to turn it behind for a corner. And this was danger before for Stokes. Vini in towards that near post. Van Dijk across. Ronaldo doing the defensive work.
I like it, going for something a little bit clever, a little bit niche, just trying to dink it to the back post from the initial cross.
Well, here's Mbappe inside the box, trying to Croqueta, chaining them together to try and eke his way past his man. Maybe just a little bit of space for a shot there.
I really want to see something different from Stokes. I want to see him actually generate a little bit of possession here. Maybe slow things down, start passing it around, make Vini start to chase him instead of him chasing Vini.
Well, it's Ferdinand chasing Ronaldo, and I think he gave up on the chase there. He just decided to bring him down. A mistimed challenge there means there will be a free kick and an advanced position here. Booking for Rio Ferdinand. And now Stokes with a chance from the set piece, and we have seen how dangerous he is, controlling that Cristiano Ronaldo and looking to get that green time header on goal. There is that player switch. Neymar hangs it up towards Ronaldo. If anyone's going to win that header against Ronaldo, make it Cristiano Ronaldo.
If you have the opportunity, you always set up the mirror match. You always make sure Cristiano Ronaldo's there to head it. And oh my God, there's another challenge. A bit rough this game getting, and I'm sure that's going to be another yellow card, and both these players will have to be now very careful with two of their defenders, because a red card could completely change this game.
Very heavy tackle there from Rafael Varane. Eusebio did fantastically to spin away, leaving him with no real option but to bring the Portuguese icon down. Now Danny da Costa on this right-hand side. Around 10 minutes left till half-time. And Vini still chasing the game. Looks for that little chip into Eusebio there, maybe for a first-time volley. Well read, though, by Stokes. But again, that midfield battle at the moment, Dan, it's being dominated by Vini.
It's almost like Stokes is just being hit by a barrier every single time he tries to get that ball into the opposition half at this point. And then on the counter-attack, Vini's looking phenomenal, really using the width well.
Here's the goal scorer, Eusebio. He might have another chance to go at goal. Instead, tries to pull it back. And I think if he could wind that one back and have another opportunity to maybe make that decision again, he would have pulled the trigger.
Sometimes you've got the idea of the play you want to make in your head and you press that button combination, but by the time your player actually gets into position, you see it's just not quite right. But still, Vini making these chances, and you can feel that he could quite easily find an equaliser anytime soon.
This might well be the last attack until the half-time whistle blows. Switch of the play here. Just taking his time to make sure this last attack of the game will be his. 45 minutes left after this, of course. Extra time and penalties if required. Neymar inside to Hullet. Neymar turns away from his man, scoops it up towards the back post. He is arriving there, Mbappe. Varane does well. Another opportunity to get inside the box. Ronaldo gets away from his man. But a slightly unfortunate touch inside the box as the referee's whistle goes. Means that he won't have the opportunity to get that shot away.
If you are Robinho, or if you're a fan of Robinho, I'm sure you're quaking in your boots at the moment, because that half was completely dominated by Vini. He had everything going forward, and he was also stopping Stokes in his tracks for every single attack. And you can hear words from the coach there as well towards Vini, just giving him a little bit of advice at halftime, maybe trying to suggest which areas he can attack differently, what he's doing well, or maybe what he's not doing so well. But for me, that first half was pretty spectacular for him, considering the circumstances.
Yeah, it really couldn't have gone much better, to be honest with you. Not only did he get that goal on the board, Dan, he also kept Stokes at bay. One of the best attacking players that we have seen so far in the tournament, especially today. And his job now, if he does exactly the same again, and he gives himself an opportunity to head towards extra time, and maybe, just maybe, pull off what would be an incredible result for him.
And it has been Stokes' finishing, which is what made him such a powerhouse at this tournament. But the thing is, he's not been able to get into those positions to even attempt the timed finesse finishing that we've seen him use all tournament long. So whether Vini has recognized that from leg one, has now adjusted his gameplay just to counteract that, I don't know. But he's done something very right in the first half of this second leg. And if he can carry on doing that, it definitely feels like he's in the right rhythm right now.
Vini will have the free kick, and you see, just playing it short, just keep in possession here so that he can build an attack. One thing we have to keep our eye on here is how much time is left in the game. There's only so many attacks you can fit into one half of FIFA 19. Unfortunately, there for Vini, Cristiano Ronaldo got in the way of Kylian Mbappe, and what looked like a simple pass, a well-executed pass, didn't find its intended target.
It's just one of those things that you can't do anything about, and you just have to move on and win this ball back and then try and attack again. But the space that Vini's being allowed on that right-hand side, in particular with Mbappe, is maybe something that Stokes needs to look at with his fullback to try and ensure these balls aren't as simple, because otherwise he is going to find himself in very dangerous positions.
A nice switch of the play here from Patrick Vieira, an opportunity to maybe move the ball forward quickly here. Kai Havertz dropping deep, manages to keep possession. Eusebio turns away from Hullet momentarily and finds the great run there of Cristiano Ronaldo, but Maybe that advanced fake shot there, Dan, just a little bit telegraphed in that position.
It's just as I was going to compliment Vini on how well he was getting away from the defense of Stokes. He was using ball rolls, he was using fake shots to just get away from that man and turn away from them, so it wasn't an easy tackle. He definitely seems to know how Stokes is trying to defend.
Might be a chance here. Fantastic tackle for Rio Ferdinand, but the danger is not done as Stokes elects to take the free kick.
I don't blame him.
In an incredibly dangerous area here, just on the edge of the penalty box. Another player in the book here. Now, what can Stokes do? Hasn't had many chances. Can he have a shot at goal here? And maybe just give himself that 2-goal lead once again. Havertz leaves it. Neymar into the player just waiting, free in the middle of the box. And Van der Sar is just forced into another save. Mbappe now flicks the ball up. Is anyone there to arrive and head that one in the back of the net? It's away. And finally, Van der Sar gathers the shot. And the first real period of pressure here that comes in from Rebel Stokes is dealt with.
And for all the praise we've given for Stokes on his finishing, actually, that was a massive opportunity for him. There was so much space for Mbappe. You saw him lining it up. Vini doesn't bring anyone to defend it, but then Stokes just can't get the finish away. He managed to finish that one and go 2 goals up. That could have been the tie done and dusted right there.
Well, here's Ronaldo then, and Ferdinand's got to be so careful dealing with that 99 rated Team of the Year foot item. Already on a booking himself, can't make any kind of rash tackle, and there is a little bit of space here, and you can see the run ahead of Patrick Vieira from Cristiano Ronaldo. There is an overlap here for Kai Havertz. Eusebio almost got round his man, but Paolo Maldini. That interception was vital.
Vini's getting so close, and Stokes must be concerned by that, and I feel like Stokes has upped the pressure a little bit here. He's really looking for another goal.
I feel like this game really is opening up. Fantastically read, though, by NSE Vini. Saw that accelerated fake shot coming a mile off, and now Virgil van Dijk is desperately trying to track back at Cristiano Ronaldo. Vini now managed to get the ball across. Will it fall to Havertz? Nothing but air. Havertz now turns back inside. And Vini, well, he created the chance. He pulled Stokes apart. And he just couldn't apply the finishing touch.
So close, yet so far for Vini, and time is starting to run out now as well for him. And Stokes, I think, is going to start to feel the pressure more and more the further we get in, but winning the ball back in those areas is absolutely huge for Stokes. But he just can't seem to beat these fullbacks as the ball goes out of play, and a chance for both players to look at their tactics and maybe change a few players on the pitch, get some fresh legs on as Hazard joins the mix, as well as Eusebio for Rebel Stokes.
Yeah, and Stokes has had a lot of impactful moments with that Eden Hazard coming onto the pitch as well, the 98 rated team of the season foot item. The interesting thing for me is, what does Vini do here? I'll take a look at Abinho here. He's the man who's waiting for the result of this. He's
on his watch.
FIFA E-World Cup, you know,
he literally
places on the line here.
He's setting a timer. He can't handle it. I mean, I'm not sure I'd be able to handle it in his position. He started this tournament in 17th, so he was just outside of that 16. He did just enough to pip Ajax Joey, and now he takes and sits in that 16th spot. And boy, that's not going to be an enjoyable last, 10 minutes we've got in this game for him now. As a reminder, if Stokes wins, Abinho goes through. If Vini wins, he goes through.
It's all set up for a grandstand finish here in Hamburg. Vini still has his FIFA E-World Cup spot on the line. It's in his hands, but he needs to find a goal, and he needs to find it soon. Inside the last 15 minutes, Cristiano Ronaldo finds Hullet. Round the corner here to Eusebio. Ball will fall back to Hullet, but I think the linesman's flag would have gone up. Pele fresh on the pitch now as well.
And you know full well, with every attack, Vini's heartbeat is just going to be racing as he knows that he needs to just put one of these chances away to keep his E-World Cup dreams alive. And even then, he'd have to push on and find a winner.
Well, here's Eusebio then for Stokes. This could be potentially the end of the run for Vini if he can find a goal. But Ronaldo, can he win that as well? Maldini steps in here for Stokes. Havertz now, taking his time. Game management here from Stokes. And you can see Vini just desperately trying to get the ball, desperately trying to win possession. And he's done so, and he's released Pele.
You've got to be so careful of your Stokes. You can see he doesn't want to give the ball away, but he's making mistakes. He's giving chances to Vini here.
83 minutes on the clock. Vieira will win that ball back for Stokes, though.
Stokes has to be he's got to be careful with this ball. He needs to just hold on to it, but he's trying to run it into dangerous areas.
R9, and again, he's just trying to force the play a little bit here, Vini.
Right, 5 minutes is a manageable time. Play it around, use your RB and LB buttons to try and bring players, send players on runs, run it to the corner if you have to. Stokes knows he can get to the final here if he just holds on to the ball.
Eusebio, back to Da Costa. And Da Costa is going back to goal, but he's read it. Pele now, he's got away from Maldini. We're approaching the 90th minute. Is there a last gasp goal here in Hamburg to keep Vini's dreams alive? Vieira stepping forward. Ronaldo gets it. Cristiano Ronaldo back to R9.
Oh, and Van der Sar with a huge save. And surely it's enough for Stokes.
That was the chance right there for Vini. That was his final spot, lit up in front of him, and Abinio, I mean, he'll be sending Christmas cards to Edwin van der Sar.
And already Vini's coach with his head in his hands because he knows with only 20 seconds left, there is a very little chance for him to get anything out of this game now, and it means Stokes would be moving on to the grand final here at playoffs.
If he can win it from this throw-in, though, you never know. Throw-in's always difficult sometimes to keep possession. Goes inside, Vieira has to win this. Havertz drops it up, Van Dijk wins it. I think that's going to be it, though. Stokes is going to hold on, and Stokes will move into the final. And Abinio, complete and utter relief from him. He will take the last spot here in the FIFA E-World Cup.
We have our 16 competitors for the FIFA 19 E-World Cup, and quite rightly, jubilation for Abinio. And on the other side, commiseration to Vini. What a run he had, 51st in the Global Series rankings before this tournament, and he fought himself all the way to the semi-final, but it just wasn't enough. Stokes got in his way, and Stokes secures himself $35,000 as well. Quite a bit of prize money for him.
Absolutely incredible performance from Rebel Stokes. A huge congratulations to him, but I just feel like